So I just finished a couple days ago the fourth cup, unveiling the mystery of the Last Supper and the cross by Hahn, and I just wanted to maybe just share a few things. Not really. There are a few things. There's a lot of things I don't want to share. I want you to get the book. I want you to read it, but just as a, you know, maybe a little ad. Just want to share a few things. First thing I want to share is a clarification from my last video. I shared what I knew, and the fourth cup I said was a cup of blessing that St. Paul says is this cup of blessing which we bless, but that's not true. In the Jewish ritual there are four cups again, and it's the third cup that is the cup of blessing. So I wanted to give that correction of what I had said on my last video. This kind of solidified it, and I'm going to leave that video up. It'll be good for me. But yeah, so the third cup, which is the cup that Jesus turned into his body and blood at the Last Supper, that was the cup of blessing, which St. Paul later says, this cup of blessing which we bless, So what was the fourth cup called? The fourth cup was the cup of consummation. And that is a very worthwhile name for that cup in the Jewish tradition, because while Jesus is on the cross, according to the Douay Rheims Bible, he says, it is consummated. When does he say it is consummated? After he drinks this final cup. He says, I will not drink of this fourth cup until I drink it anew in the kingdom of heaven. And then he denies wine offered to him. But then while he's on the cross, he says, seeing that it was consummated, he said, I thirst. Then he says, it is consummated. It's one of his seven last words. So just that little clarification right there. My bad. I heard it the right way in the past. I obviously, stated it incorrectly. Maybe just a little promo for the fourth cup. What I really love about, and I said this in the last video, I love his storytelling. He's a great storyteller. It's like every single book, it's like he can throw out a new aspect of his conversion. It's like you're reading about it again for the first time. In no other book have I had that sense than this book. Because in this book he kind of approaches it from the standpoint of a minister, somebody who is caring for the flock. He's as a Presbyterian minister, and he's seeking the truth. He's seeking, what is this all about? Because souls are on the line, the souls that he's in charge of. So that's all I'm going to say about that. There's another thing that he points out that I think is very timely and very worth noting, and it's a challenge that we have today. And that is that we have lost a sense of sacrifice. I remember as a teacher, and especially as a DRE of a Catholic school, one of the challenges that we had was emphasizing that the Mass is not, if we're just considering the Mass as like a meal, then we're missing something. That the Mass is a sacrifice. And it makes perfect sense that the Mass is being lost, at least in the understanding of a sacrifice, because, and it's partly, I might be so bold as to say that a part of the challenge that we have today is due to years and years of the success of the gospel as an unbloody sacrifice. It has kind of led to a worldwide phenomena of, no bloody sacrifices. And so, internationally, we could say we have lost the sense of sacrifice as an animal sacrifice, which was something very commonplace, something at the time of the first century, was a very ordinary thing, a cross-cultural thing that is not existent in cultures the world over today. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge for understanding the Bible, because the Bible is speaking to an audience that understands sacrifice intimately. So I thought that was a very good insight from Scott Hahn in this book. Chapter 11 of this book is basically a synthesis of the early church fathers on this holy sacrifice of the Mass and how it was celebrated by the early church fathers. I think that's really one of the great values that I'll keep turning to from this book is, well, what do the early church fathers say? There's plenty that is worth reflecting on in this book. There are a lot of things I could say further. I could say a lot, but like I said, just want to touch on a couple things that I thought were beneficial for me, and hopefully encourage you to get the book, read it, and see what's beneficial for you. There's a lot going on here, a whole lot. So anyway, if this is beneficial, please like and subscribe. Perhaps it will be beneficial for others. And remember, stay hungry, my friends.